Hey guys, we are live. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back. If you've been here with us before, if this is your first time, we certainly want to welcome you and are so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to join us. As always, I'm going to begin with scripture this evening, and it comes from Ephesians 4, verses 22 through 24. And it says, "Throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy." So, for tonight, I want to talk about something that's affected me personally, and I need some interaction tonight. For those of you that are regular on here and don't mind sharing or putting in the comments, tonight's topic is going to be, the title of it is 4 Faces of Transformation. You know, and when I think about transformation, you know, to me, the way I look at it and the way I define it is, you know, a transformation, it's a life-altering change that, you know, that we don't come back from. You know, it's almost like taking an about face. You know, it's in whether it's from a physical standpoint, mindset, emotional, spiritual, we've all seen that. Maybe you probably, and most people have experienced some type of transformation in their journey. Maybe you're going through one right now. Maybe you know of someone that's going through it right now. Or maybe it's something like one area of your life that you've always felt like you needed to or wanted to make a transformation. So that's what we're gonna focus on tonight. And I had Cassidy, my daughter, print up some emojis that are gonna go perfect with each one of these. But when we look at the 4 faces of transformation, what we're talking about is its stages. And if you've gone through a transformation, you know, you've experienced one of these 4. You may have experienced all 4 of them. You know, for anybody that goes through any type of life-altering change, all right, there's always something that starts it. There's always something that triggers it. And the first one is, and I'm just going to show you this picture right here, all right? So the first face, all right, is pain, discomfort. You know, where we hurt enough that we have to. You know, if you don't mind sharing, put a 1 in the comments if you've ever been there. That you just kind of get to that, you know what, I'm just sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. You know, enough is enough. You know, whether it's how we think, whether it's the emotions that we feel or experience from day to day. You know, maybe it's something physically that we want to alter and transform. You know, maybe it's financially, you know, maybe it's spiritually. Maybe we feel like we need a spiritual transformation. And a lot of times we experience that pain and we get to the point to where, you know, whether it's physical, mindset, spiritual, whatever it is, we get to the point to where, you know what, something's got to change. All right, I've got to reverse course. I've got to take a different path. But one thing that I want to encourage you with, if you know of someone, and this is kind of what started it, is what we don't want to do is we don't want to completely put aside all of that pain. We need to keep just a little bit of it with us, because we can use that on those days, all right, or those times or those moments where the enemy starts messing with our mind and tries to get us to stop, or tries to get us to slow down, or tries to get us to doubt that we can even do this. And we need to hang on to a little bit of that pain, a little bit of that hurt, because that can serve as the driving force to keep us going, you know, on those days that we experience that. You know, when people talk about emotions don't matter, you know, that's all right. That's ridiculous. Yes, they do. All right, because the better we feel, all right, when we're in a positive state of emotion, okay, we just show up better. So emotions are very much a part of it. And, if you think about people that have it together, all right, or that we perceive to have it together, have made a transformation, okay? How many wishes do you think those people have, all right? As many as they want, okay? Because they're in a good state, all right? They're in a good place. But someone who's struggling, how many wishes do they have? Usually just one. And that's to change where they're at. That they need to transform and get to a better place. So that's the first phase. The second phase of transformation that can trigger a life-altering change is this one. Okay? And that's learning. That's knowledge. All right? Where we learn enough that we want to. The first one is we have to. We learn enough. The second phase is knowledge. We learn enough that we want to. A lot of people have, and those of you that have been on here on a regular basis know that I'm passionate about my health and wellness and fitness and, and people ask me that, even at people I come in contact with on a daily basis, like, why are you so and they don't say it in a bad way, but they're like, why are you so just consumed with this? And it's because of what I have learned, all right, that I didn't previously know on this journey. Whether it's what I've learned about nutrition, what I've learned about the importance of daily movement, what I've learned about the importance of sleep, meditation, the positive effects that those can have on the body and mind. So by learning that knowledge, all right, that's driving me even more, okay, to make sure that I continue this transformation. And I'm sure you've experienced the same thing in whatever area it is that you've been seeking that transformation in. One of the things that I've learned here just 8 days ago, all right, I've always heard about cold plunges and what they can do to your central nervous system, but obviously I don't have one of those, okay? So I've been doing this for a week solid now every morning as I'm taking an ice cold shower, and I'm in there for like 2 to 3 minutes. And I got to tell you, the first couple of times, I'm still not used to it. All right. It still takes a little bit and it'll take your breath away. But because of the research and the learning that I did on it, all right, that's what enticed me to do it. And I got to tell you, it has transformed my morning routine. I can already feel a difference just in doing it for the last 7 or 8 days. And because of that, I'm going to continue to do that, okay? And I'm just using that as an example. So we've got pain, we've got knowledge. Those are two things that can drive us to a transformation, all right? This is the third one, okay? The third phase is vision, all right? I see enough, or we see enough that we're inspired to, whether it's we see somebody else, all right, going through that transformation and seeing what it's done for them. That's why it's so important for those of us that are on here who are Christians, okay, to make sure that we're setting the right example, because people are watching us and they're not listening so much to what we say, is they're watching what we're doing. Actions speak a whole lot louder than words. And so oftentimes, just by them seeing how we interact with people, seeing how we conduct our lives, not about being perfect, and we all make mistakes. But a lot of times, and I'm just using this for an example, they can see that, all right? And that can inspire them, okay, to make a transformation. Maybe it's somebody that's in your circle that you've experienced, whether it's from a financial standpoint, all right? Or maybe, they're just a more positive person. You can see it. You can see it how they, just in their daily life. And a lot of times that can inspire us, all right, to want to make that same kind of transformation. But it can also be something that we see in our head. We talk about this all the time. If you can't see it up here, it's hard to reach it, okay? But having that vision of what we want the transformation to be, how we envision ourselves being after this transformation, and what a positive change that it's gonna that it's going to make. You know, and you may be sitting there going, well, you know, Tad, you don't understand. You know, others, they don't come from where I did. They don't have the circumstances that I grew up with. All right. They have, you know, I hear this all the time on the health side of it. Boy, they just have good genes. You know, they see somebody that's healthy and fit, and it's like, well, they're just genetically better, superior to me. All right. And there is there is a little bit of genes that has to do with it, but there's so much more to it than that. All right. Or, hey, they come from money. They've always had it good. All right. So that's why, you know, they're where they're at. All right. Or maybe it's, you know, hey, they've always been smart. You know, learning things has always come easy to them, those types of things. All right. And we've all experienced that, and we've all said that to ourselves. Whether we said it to someone else, all right, we probably all said it to ourselves, all right, consciously or subconsciously. Okay. But I want to give you a quote to encourage you if that is something that you kind of thought, all right, or something maybe you're contemplating. You know, I want to transform in this area. I want to make a change. I want to make an about face. I got to change the path. And it's this quote: "It was not up to us where our lives began. We had nothing to do with that, no control over that. But it's entirely up to us the directions that our lives go." You know, we can learn a lot by watching others. We can learn a lot by seeing. And I would encourage you, if there is an area in your life that you feel like you need to make a transformation, okay, then you need to seek out others, all right, that have gone through that. All right. And no two transformations are exactly alike. All right. But there's a lot of things that we can lean on them for and learn from. And it doesn't have to be somebody that's actually, you know, that we see, you know, in person, in the flesh. I mean, it may be somebody that's in that area. All right. That there's been substantial, you know, they have substantial credibility that, hey, I was here and now I'm here, and here's how I did it. And so by seeing them being able to do that, that can inspire us, all right, to seek our own transformation. Okay. And if they can, we can. And then the fourth face is this one. All right. And that's feel it. That we experience it enough that we are able to. You know, whether, you know, I think of people that, you know, that are seeking a spiritual guide, and they're really not sure what that is, or that, you know, but they know that there's some being, there's some higher force, all right? And we know who that is, all right? But they may not, but they're aware that there's something there, you know? That's why I like attending church, you know, going to a prayer meeting, going to a you know, a group, small group devotional, whatever it is. A lot of times they're going to feel that. They're going to feel the presence, okay? They're going to feel the passion of those that are there. They're going to feel the presence of the Lord. And just by having that experience, all right, then that can trigger them to seek that transformation. You know, it can be the same thing, you know, when it comes to our finances, you know, being, you know, saving money, investing money, you know, and watching that grow. You know, anytime we attempt something for the first time, you know, anytime we decide that we're going to transform an area of our life, all right, it can be scary, okay? It can be intimidating because it's something new, and we're really not sure if we can do this or not. You know, and that's probably the first hurdle that we have to work on and that we have to cross. But a lot of times, like once we experience it that first time, and I think you would agree, and put a 1 in the comments if you agree with this. Think of something in your life that you've been like, you've put off, and you knew it was for the best, but you're like, gosh, don't know if I can do this. I don't know what to expect. And then one day you just wake up and go, you know what? I'm doing it. And you do it for the first time, and you find out, you know what? This wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I can do this. And then it gets easier and easier and easier. But it takes experiencing it first, all right, before we see that we're actually able to do it. You know, whether it's, you know, the gym, you know, exercising. Okay, a lot of people are afraid of exercise. One, because they don't know, all right, they don't have the knowledge. It's been a while maybe since they've done it, okay? But when they go in there the first time, and even if they're in there 5 minutes, all right, they're gonna naturally feel better, and they're gonna figure out that, you know what, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I can do this. And then oftentimes that's what springboards that transformation. You know, I thought about, you know, the cold shower, and this is probably a terrible example, but look, I love roller coasters, and Riley, my son, he loves roller coasters. But we went on a trip one time, and there was one roller coaster, and I got to be honest with you, it got in my head. Like everywhere we walked in the park, you know, I glanced at that thing, and I knew Riley wanted to ride it, and I knew I was going to have to ride with it, you know. So, but it got in my head, and I'm thinking, I just don't know if I can do this. All right, it was one of those type roller coasters, and so finally I was like, look, you know, I wasn't going for any Dad of the Year awards, but I didn't want to be that guy that Riley goes, well, my dad wouldn't ride with me, so I couldn't experience it. So I just had to suck it up and go, all right? And I can remember strapping in and going on that first time, and I mean, I can hardly breathe, like I am sweating, I am choking the handles, you know, and I'll be honest with you, my eyes are closed. I don't mind telling you, I'm secure in my own skin, my eyes were closed. And once we did it, all right, the first time, okay, that's all I needed was to experience it that one time. And then we ended up, I think we stayed there the rest of the day. I mean, we'd ride it, get off, get back on, get back in line. We probably rode it, and this is no exaggeration, probably 15 times that day. But it took me to experience it. I had to feel it first, all right, for me to be able to say that, hey, I can do this. So if that's one of the things you're struggling with, okay, you know, whether it is, maybe you do have a pain point, all right, and you're just sick and tired, and you just know that you're sick and tired of feeling the way you're feeling, and something's got to change, all right? Or maybe it's something that you're already interested in, and you just need to gain more knowledge about, okay? Maybe that's what triggers, you know? Maybe it's seeing somebody, all right? Or maybe it's just, you just need to be willing to take that step and experience it. And I promise you, if you do, okay, then you're gonna develop the attitude, all right, that I can do this. And Ford, that is a great point. All right, you're exactly right. All right, you have to overcome your fear so others can succeed, and that goes back to the third thing with the vision. You know, by people seeing me do something or seeing you do something, it can inspire them to do that. All right. So if you're experiencing one of these four, then that probably means that you're on the verge of a transformation. There's something pulling on you. There's something tugging on you that, hey, you need to make a change here, all right? Or you're wanting to make a change for the better. And I want to encourage you that if you are feeling one of those four faces, experiencing those four faces, all right, that it's time to go for it. Just take a leap of faith, step out, all right, and go get it. Whatever it is, whatever transformation you're seeking. So hope you guys got some value out of that. I really appreciate you guys being on. I hope you have a great rest of the week. As always, if there's anything that you want to add to this or any comments you have, feel free to message me if there's something that you want us to content that you want us to discuss on here. All right. I am always open to that because this is all about serving you and helping each of us. All right, help each other be the best version of ourselves that we can be. So you guys have a great night. Hope you have a great rest of the week. God bless you and your family, and we'll see you next time. Take care.